my testimony about being assaulted. I just want Johnny to leave me alone.
If you believe even one incident of domestic abuse happened against Amber Heard, she must win.
I think by now, most of you are aware of Warner Brothers' plan to drop another documentary about the Depp versus Heard defamation case, and they are going to release it through Discovery+. I know most of you are wondering why Warner Bros. Would think it's a nice idea to make a sequel, especially after the first part of the docuseries was severely criticized.
She walked up to me and reached the bottle of vodka and then just kind of stood back and then hurled it at me.
I was not an accurate historian of what happened.
Did you administer any tests that are specific to domestic violence?
Well, I'm as confused as you are. However, things are getting a little messy from the get-go because fans are calling out WB for literally exposing Amber Heard and taking more blows against the actress's credibility. Are you curious how Warner snitched Heard? Well, keep watching because you will be about to find out. The Depp versus Heard case is undoubtedly one of the most controversial cases of this year. This is why Warner Brothers decided to ride the momentum and decided to produce a sequel to the disaster documentary Discovery Plus released before.
It's easy to look at this case and think these are two celebrities, too much money, that had a really awful relationship. But this is a man's life.
What have you lost as a result of Ms. Heard making these allegations?
Nothing less than everything.
That Warner will try and clean up Amber's image, and they did this by bringing in experts, as they call it, to talk about the trial, the case, and the verdict. One of the prominent names this called in is Lisa Bloom. Things got pretty out of hand after she entered the picture. In case you don't know her, she's a lawyer and prominent women's rights attorney who has made a career following in the footsteps of her mother, Gloria Allred, by repping women with accusations against high-profile men. The problem started after she gave some insight into how the verdict against Amber is taking a toll on other alleged victims. She called this a fallout in a tweet and said, "I had to advise 2 women today that if they speak out about their sexual assaults, they can be sued, even if they don't name their abuser, even if they don't identify him by job or relationship." One wept at being silenced. The fallout from Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. You see, she's not the most qualified person to join hands with Warner and call out the verdict against Amber Heard. Fans were quick about digging a very controversial fact about Lisa Bloom. Way back in 2017, she had past interactions with Harvey Weinstein, who had been accused of harassment and other bad things. Many are calling attention to what they perceive as her sanctimoniousness, especially if we take into consideration that she was HW's advisor at the start of his scandal in 2017.
The scandal involving Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein has been in the headlines for the last few years, but the sexual assault allegations against him span decades. So many people came out against Weinstein that it's considered a landmark story for the entire Me Too movement.
Low-key hypocrite if you asked me. Because of this, fans say that Warner only digs a deeper grave for Amber instead of pulling her up from the ground. What were they even thinking? One fan said, if those documentaries spin things to make all look like the victim and play the narrative that JD was a DV person, then I see another lawsuit coming against Warner and Discovery. The court case stands on its merits. The facts prove JD was innocent and that I was the actual perpetrator of DV on JD, paid in any other way, and JD should sue them too. I don't understand why these idiotic studios keep siding with her and going all in to support her. It tells me they need to be eliminated. Supporting her is supporting lies and DV. This is pretty spot on. If Warner and Team H continue to propaganda, I'm sure Team Johnny will not just sit around all day and do nothing. Well, that's it for today's video. Make sure to take this information with a grain of salt since they are mere speculation unless confirmed.